I'm Justin Adams, brokered by eXp Realty. One of the things that is most special to me about being a realtor is being so involved in the community now, where before I felt a little stuck in four walls, and just getting to know my clients on such a deep level and build those relationships. It builds such a level of trust. So after we've gone through the process as me being their advisor on, whether it's a milestone for them or a big investment, the greatest sense or that's most rewarding for me is at that signing table is the big hugs, the excitement, but it was all built around a foundation of trust, and that feeling is like nothing I've ever experienced before. One of my favorite things about living in Orlando is the diversity of our city. I genuinely believe it's a place for anybody. We have the University of Central Florida being the largest university in the entire country based on population. So if you are coming here for school, we have that side of town. We also are typically known for our theme parks, so we have the tourist side of town. But what's great when I speak with someone who isn't super familiar with the rest of Orlando, it's so refreshing to be able to tell them, hey, we have suburban living life over here. We have those quiet neighborhoods that you're maybe looking for. We have our downtown living amongst the obvious theme parks that we're, kind of known for. One of my favorite memories of serving a home seller would definitely have to be my first listing. She really took a chance with me, being a little bit newer into the industry. I get a phone call and it was routed through a third-party company, and she basically opened up to me saying that someone had come in, gave her a checklist of how to prepare her home for sale and to give her a call when she was done. So she called me and asked if I could stop by and give her a second opinion. So I said, sure. So I was very giddy, very excited, did all my research, ready to go. I was just excited about the appointment, honestly, more than anything else at that point. And when I get there, I just got to know her. We took a stroll through the house. As we were walking, I asked her a little about her. She asked me about me. We just had a casual conversation. Of course, we got down to numbers and the important side of the education part of selling a home. And as I was leaving, she went to go give me a big hug, and she goes, I'm so sorry, I don't know where that came from. I actually don't ever hug anyone. In fact, everyone calls me the non-hugger at work. So I said, that's totally okay. I'm a hugger, so if it's okay with you, it's okay with me. And she's like, well, thank you so much for coming by. I'll let you know what I decide, hopefully by tomorrow. Well, not even 2 minutes later, before I even get out of the complex, she gave me a call and she's like, I don't know what it is. I just really felt like I could trust you for whatever reason, so I'm just gonna take a chance and let's go with it. And it was a moment in my life, more so than just my career, but my entire life, that really made me realize how much I appreciated creating relationships from that moment on. My real estate superpower, I would say, is my sensitivity. Growing up, I definitely feel like I added a negative connotation to being sensitive instead of owning it. I've realized through starting my own business and working in real estate that the sensitive side of me is actually what kind of sparks that interactive and engagement listening that is needed to really understand what the client needs are. So I would say because of that, sensitivity would be my superpower, and I'm proud to own it today. I choose to work with eXp Realty because I do believe now so more than ever, culture is very important. There is something about eXp Realty, especially when I first started. I was still a newer agent. I had come from another brokerage, but here I was, still very nervous, very new to the industry, and I was welcomed with open arms. There was a warmth I can't even explain. and it gave me the confidence boost I really needed. There's something to be said that culture or anything great really starts from the top up or top down. And I do believe a lot of the leadership and the mentorship that I've learned from and I've gained in the relationships with eXp Realty, it does trickle down through them, through us as agents, which then in turn goes to our clients that we're serving. And because of how our culture is set up to be so inviting and so agent focused, and they listen to our needs, they, if we have feedback or concerns, they're quick to step in and have a discussion about it. That truly does integrate so many beautiful things that really does help both on us as agents, that then also trickles to our customers for good service. I would have to say, hands down, my favorite tool by eXp Realty is our Exp World Platform. When I first started with eXp Realty, I had no idea how a virtual campus could truly be so empowering, so efficient, so effective in communication, so educational, to where it's the closest thing I would say you could feel like being in person without being in person. So no longer did I have to spend an hour drive to go to an office for a meeting. No longer did I have to, wait for my broker to be freed up to answer a question that needed a sense of urgency to help my clients. I genuinely it's a one-stop shop. It's in real time. The amount of education I get is absolutely invaluable, and it's in there all day, every day. There's so many other tools I could honestly speak about, but to me, I think what sets eXp Realty apart is that virtual campus, because there's so much to be done, and I genuinely believe that that platform itself can show a lot about how, if something were to happen in the world that's unexpected, it's almost like we were built for that. The core value within eXp Realty that resonates most with me, I would have to say, is collaboration. I came from a very hardworking family. I also feel like growing up, I never wanted to impose on anyone, so I would try to take everything on myself. It worked in my favor sometimes because employers would see the hard work ethic I had, but sometimes it would take more time to figure some things out. So the fact that I can come into eXp and feel comfortable to ask for, hey, what do you think about this? How would you solve this problem? Or, hey, I have an idea. Have you tried it? Do you think it would work? I wasn't even nervous, scared, or felt like I was imposing. It's almost like everyone was excited to jump in and kind of take this project on with me. And now that it's been a couple years of being with eXp, I celebrate every day that I get to now be able to do that with new agents as they come in, or if they're new to the brokerage, it doesn't matter. It's such a beautiful thing to be able to collaborate together and just be as an eXp family. So a little fun fact about me, I would say, is I actually tried out for American Idol, not once, not twice, but 4 times. I had an absolute dream to be a singer when I was growing up, and when American Idol first came out, I was so entrenched in that show that season 2, they were taking auditions in Atlanta. So I actually turned 18, graduated from high school, and I drove all night to Atlanta to try out. Didn't make it. That was okay. So the next year came out and did it again. Until the 4th time, I was like, okay, it's time to maybe try something else. But it was still fun. Favorite food? I'm a sucker for chocolate, but since I started my business, I feel like coffee's become a food. So you take chocolate and coffee together and you get a tiramisu. Favorite movie, I would have to say, is The Truman Show. I am a big fan of Jim Carrey. He has definitely perfected his craft. I relate to it in so many ways. not to drag it on, but the fact that he finds out he's been in a show his whole life and he's questioning things, I can relate to that coming from another country moving here. I felt like I had to kind of put up a facade and I was creating not who I was. So that movie, I watched it later on in high school and it actually sparked me to start questioning things where now I can be my authentic self. So I grew up in Italy. My dad was serving in the Navy and was stationed in Italy. My mom had me, was then asked to serve in Desert Storm. So I ended up staying there until I was about 9 years old. Once he was done, he was then asked to move to Jacksonville, Florida. And that's where I grew up through high school, well, St. Augustine, which is 30 minutes south of Jacksonville. And once I graduated from high school, I came to UCF in Orlando and never left because I fell in love. So my first job was being a bagger at public supermarkets when I was 16 years old. And what I love about that is that if you can take a teenager and teach them how to basically take care of the customer in the right ways, I really believe you're doing a great job. I will say a lot of my foundations in today's world and how I conduct my business and serve my clients and customers comes from that initial foundation from Publix and teaching me the right ways on how to listen to the customer and solve their needs. So my favorite music, honestly, I listen to all kinds of genres. Because I'm from North Florida, there was a big push on country music, so I kind of did a lot of country listening when I was younger, and Rascal Flatts were it. However, secretly inside, I did care for NSYNC as a band, and my first concert was the Pop Odyssey NSYNC concert because I thought Britney Spears was going to be opening for them, and she did not for some reason at that point. But that was my first concert. It was still exciting. The energy was out of this world. But honestly, the genre of music, I can listen to really anything.